What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Cole Harkin here, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different than what you were accustomed to seeing on our channel. So if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that Jay and I are really into fishing and the outdoors and herping and all sorts of fun things that scream adventure. And along with that, Jay and I are into camping and primitive survival. And we haven't shown any of that on the channel yet. And today we've decided that we are going to show you that side of us. So to kick that off, we're going to be making a fire. And not just your average fire, we're going to be making a primitive fire in the form of a bow and drill. The bow and drill is a really primitive style of making fire, and it is a technique that I learned a few years ago, and I've been trying to keep up and keep practicing on it and keep making sure that I can do it. I haven't made one in a while, but I think that with the tools I have at hand today, that I can successfully make a primitive bow and drill fire for you guys. So let's just start off with all the materials we have. We have our bow. We have our bow right here. This is just a piece of cottonwood. And it's not really important what your bow is made out of, but you just want something that's kind of got this curved shape, or it can be straight, but the curve seems to make it a little bit easier to make the bow and drill fire. Attached to the piece of cottonwood, we have paracord, and I corded this to make it super strong and durable. And you know, in a real survival situation, you may not have paracord, but you probably do. You're probably gonna have shoes on, you probably have some sort of shoelaces on. But you can also make cordage out of plant material. You can use bark, you can use vines, you could use sinew from an animal, but we're just going to be using straight up paracord. Moving on from our bow, we're going to go to some more of the hardware. This is our hearth board, and this is made out of basswood. This is a softwood, and this is also made out of basswood. This is our drill. And I've already set the drill to the shape and size we're going to be using today. Basically what you're going to do, you're going to have a piece of wood. It's not going to be perfectly cylindrical like this, and you're going to whittle it down to a cylindrical form, and you're just going to make it into this sort of shape and drill into your hearth board. We'll go into more of the details and how and why we have this particular shape in a moment, but this is our drill, this is our hearth, and this is our pressure block. You can use a piece of wood, you could use a rock. You just need to have something that will fit this drill bit into it so you can push down, and by pushing down you're going to be creating friction and heat, which is going to ultimately create a sawdust pile and light an ember. Also at hand, we have all of our resources that we're going to be using once we get our fire started, because the most important thing when you're making a primitive fire is to make sure you have all the resources at hand, so if you do in fact get your ember, you're able to light it. So we have in this bucket, we have some pieces for our bird nest, our tinder bundle. This is just some dead grass, but this is the juice right here. This is the heart and soul of our tinder bundle. This is eastern red cedar bark that I've peeled off the tree. I've stripped it down, I've rubbed it together, mashed it all up. It is a really soft, fine texture. It's gonna hold an ember really well if we get one, and it's going to ignite, fingers crossed. And we have this grass here, just kind of hold it all together. Just give me something to hold on to. And so there is our tinder bundle, our bird nest. Over here, I have our sticks. So when we get the fire going in the tinder bundle, you're gonna want to light that ember with your sticks. These are some really small, fine, toothpick-like eastern red cedar sticks. Eastern red cedar is a great tree to get these small sticks from. These should hopefully light up once we get that caught on fire. And then just building upon that, we have some little bit larger size sticks we're going to add to our stick pile, and then follow it up with some larger logs, okay? So we're just gonna build up from the bottom up. Also behind us, we have this big giant wood pile. You're not gonna always have a big giant wood pile, but if we wish to make this fire any bigger, we can use some of these larger sticks over here and get that fire really roaring, okay? So enough jibber jabber. I know you guys are here because you want to see me make a primitive bow and drill fire. So let's just try to make some magic happen and get through the process together. We're about to start the drilling process. As you can see, I've used this hearth board several times. And something that you can see on these holes is that you have this area where the drill has been going into the board like this, and you see these little notches. So what you have to do first, and the reason why we have a point on the end of our drill, is because we have to drill into the hearth. We're gonna drill right here. I made a little notch right here in the board with my knife to get it kind of started. And I'm gonna start drilling in to the hearth. And once I get that dug in a little bit, deep enough to where I can cut a notch, I'm going to take my knife and I'm gonna cut a little V-shaped notch into that little circle that we've drilled out. And the reason why we're going to be cutting that little V-shaped notch is it's going to allow the dust particles to fall down to the bottom and heat up and eventually ignite into a little ember, create a little ember. So let's get started with that. I laid down some grass right here, only because I moved these leaves away and it's kind of wet and I just don't want any of this to get wet. You want everything to be dry, so I just laid that grass down there just to start out while I'm getting that pit dug out. So we're going to attach our drill to our bow simply by just using on this left side of the paracord, we're just going to wrap it around it. Okay, you want your drill to be on the outside of your bow, and we are going to place it our foot onto the hearth board. Okay, we've got our drill into our little notch we've got going on, and I have my pressure block. I'm gonna start pressing down on our drill, and I'm gonna start just making easy, fluid strokes of the drill, of the bow I mean, and start digging into our hearth board. You don't wanna wear yourself out in this process because you're gonna have to really crank on it when you're actually trying to make the ember. So just nice, easy, smooth strokes, applying pressure to your drill with your pressure block, and just dig your way into this hearth board. I'm already starting to see some dark dust, and that's good. You want it to be dark. That means it's really hot. And we'll just do this for a little bit. You see how it's starting to smoke up a little bit? That's what we're looking for. That means that it's really burning down into this hearth board. Okay, I'm gonna take a look and see what we got going on. Oh yeah. That's good. That's really, really good. You can see we've got this pit dug out. It's really cylinder, it's really circular, which is good. You want it to be like a perfect circle. As close to a perfect circle will ensure your greatest success because not a lot of heat's gonna be escaping and it's get really nice and hot. I think I'm gonna dig down just a little bit deeper, and then I'm gonna cut the little V notch, and then we'll be ready to really start cranking on and try to get an ember. This is exciting. There's our hole we're gonna be drilling into. Looks great, looks really good. So what I have to do now is I have to utilize the world's largest pocket knife, okay? The world's largest pocket knife. And I'm going to use it to cut a little V-shaped notch into our little circle. So we can start having that dust, instead of collecting on top of the board, collect beneath the board. So let's cut that notch with the world's largest pocket knife. This is a very, very, very important step. You want to make sure that your notch is not too big and not too small. Okay, we got our V-notch cut out into our hearth, and we are ready to start cranking on it and trying to make ourselves an ember which we can turn into a flame. So before I get going, I'm gonna show you a little bit of the form that I'm using. Here I got my hearth board on the ground. Underneath my hearth board where I have it cut, I have a leaf, and that's going to be collecting the dust that I create, hopefully and pile up. So what you want to do first, you're going to put your foot on the board. You want everything to be kind of like 90 degrees, you know, kind of straight, angled really good. So I got my foot on the board. I've got this back leg kind of turned like parallel to the board. It's kind of a weird position, but it's a position that I've found to be the best for, you know, when you're cranking on the drill, it's your leg's not in the way. And that kind of changes too, just while you're doing it. And then I'm gonna put my drill into the hole, get my pressure block onto the drill, and I'm gonna brace my wrist on my leg. And I'm gonna have my weight kind of forward so I can be pushing down with my additional body weight onto this pressure block so we can increase friction and heat. So this is just basically the position you're gonna see me in for the next 1, 5, maybe 10 minutes, I don't know. However long it takes me to make a fire. That's how long you're gonna see me like this. You wanna use long strokes of your bow and don't quit until you just can't take it anymore. I've got an ember. Oh. We got fire, guys. We got an ember, giant ember. Oh my gosh, my drill. I drilled it all the way down to that small. I was running out of time. Okay. Look at that, guys. That's a big ember. We're just let that build up. We're going to transfer the ember into the bird nest. We got fire. Catch those sticks on fire. Burn, baby. We're just putting the sticks on our tinder bundle and we're kind of building a little teepee out of our sticks. Heat rises and this is just about the best way to get your sticks to catch on fire. There it is, guys. We made the bow and drill fire. Oh man, that's so exhausting. You just have to just keep thinking about the prize. Just keep grinding. Just keep pumping that bow back and forth. And eventually, you got fire, and fire means life. Start adding some of our bigger sticks. These little sticks are starting to catch really good. It's hot. I'm Cole Harkin, and that was a bow and drill fire. We'll catch you on the next episode, guys. I ain't gonna lie, guys. Don't ever go out in the woods without a lighter or a mag bar or some matches because bow and drill fires are tough.